There are two things to discuss on this Tomi Lahren dust-up with The View, and one of them is her employment at the Blaze. The other is the constitutionality or the constitutional argument for conservatives on pro-life. And let's start there. First of all, we have a whole bunch of different kinds of people that work here. We started The Blaze with a show called The Real News. Real News was absolutely fantastic, and it was hosted by Amy Holmes, who was openly pro-choice. So if you're pro-choice, you can have a job at The Blaze. I don't hire people who are sycophants or who have my opinion. I try to hire people who have a different opinion because I believe in being intellectually rigorous. I don't want straw men. I want people to make a real argument on the other side so we can learn from each other and we can grow. So let's learn from each other and grow, shall we? What is the constitutional argument for conservatives on life? A lot of people will think that this is a new argument, that our founders never really, they never discussed this, you know. Abortion is a new idea. And if it's not abortion, women's rights is a new idea. Well, I want you to put women's rights into context here. Women's rights are important. However, they're not the only thing to consider when another person's life is at stake. We have to consider the other person's life when it is at stake. The founders were really, really clear. The preamble of the Constitution clearly states, to secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. Well, who are our posterity, if not our unborn children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren? Our descendants and future generations. That's who the Constitution is securing the blessings of liberty for, not just us. The founders wrote endlessly about things that they wanted to change about British common law. Comparatively, they didn't talk about abortion often, but they did talk about it. And that's because abortion was already illegal under British common law. The context of the comments made in the era shows this really clearly. James Wilson, one of the only 6 people who signed both the Declaration and the Constitution, he was also an original judge on the Supreme Court. He said, and I quote, "Human life from its commencement to its close is protected by common law. Life begins when the infant is first able to stir in the womb." In other words, as soon as people knew they were pregnant, you couldn't do anything. As soon as you knew, when it stirred in the womb. Now that's something we know.
That's when they
almost,
knew back then.
Yeah, that's when they knew. We know almost instantly now. Mm-hmm. Signer of the Declaration of Independence, John Witherspoon, said, quote, "Some nations have given parents the power of life and death over their children. But here in America, we have denied the power of life and death to parents," end quote. State law of Virginia at the time of Jefferson and Madison laid it out pretty well. Quote, "But if a woman be with child, and any gives her a potion to destroy the child within her, this is murder. For it was not given to her to cure a disease, but unlawfully to destroy the child within her," end quote. So I would disagree that you're a hypocrite if you want limited government, and yet you want the government to protect life of the unborn.